You are standing at the checkout line. It is a familiar scene. You hold your hand over the small, glowing reader. The PalmPay system is supposed to be seamless. A quick scan of your unique vein pattern, and you are on your way. But today, it is not seamless. A small, polite error message flashes on the screen. It reads, "Hand geometry mismatch." A quiet beep sounds, a sound of failure. You try again. Nothing. The line behind you lengthens. A collective sigh seems to hang in the air. The cashier, a young man who looks bored, gestures for you to try one more time. The machine is supposed to make his job easier. Today, it is making everyone's life harder. This small moment of friction, this tiny technological hiccup, feels intensely modern. It is a problem of our time, a glitch in the complex web of sensors data algorithms that govern our daily lives. We place our faith in these invisible systems. We expect them to work perfectly. When they fail, it is a small shock. It reminds us that for all their sophistication, these tools are fragile. They rely on clean data, perfect conditions. A smudge on a lens, a strange angle of light, the simple, unpredictable reality of a human hand can throw the entire process into chaos. The machine sees something it does not understand. But this story of checkout technology does not begin with PalmScanner's artificial intelligence. It begins with something much simpler. It begins with gear springs. The problem the PalmScanner is trying to solve is the exact same problem a saloon owner in Dayton, Ohio, faced in the 1870s. The problem is trust. How do you ensure that every dollar paid by a customer makes its way into the owner's pocket? How do you create a system that is, for all intents and purposes, incorruptible? The answer, it turned out, did not involve code cameras. It involved a loud noise, a clever bit of machinery. The frustration you feel when the palm reader fails is an echo of a much older struggle. It is the struggle between human messiness and the desire for mechanical perfection. Before there were error codes, there were stuck levers. Before there were mismatched hand geometries, there were jammed cash drawers. The technology has changed almost beyond recognition. The core challenge, however, has not changed at all. We are still trying to build a machine that can perfectly mediate the simple act of exchange. We are still trying to build a foolproof system to watch the money, and that quest started long before the first line of code was ever written. Let us step back in time. The year is 1878. James Ritty is a saloon owner in Dayton, Ohio. He has a problem. He suspects his bartenders are stealing from him. Ritty cannot watch every single transaction. He needs a mechanical overseer, a silent partner that cannot be bribed or distracted. His solution would change the face of retail forever. On a steamship to Europe, Ritty saw a device that counted a propeller's rotations. He realized a mechanism could automatically track an action. A thought sparked, what if a machine could track every sale? Back home, he and his brother John set to work. Their invention, Ritty's incorruptible cashier, a beautiful, complex object of brass and wood. It had a row of keys for different amounts. When a bartender pressed a key, two things happened. First, the amount displayed on a large dial. Second, a drawer popped open. This was more than a fancy box for money. It was a simple data machine. The gears inside performed one crucial function. They moved. A gear either turned or it did not. No ambiguity. Unlike a person who could lie or forget, the machine offered a mechanical truth. Its logic was absolute. If a key was pressed, a record was made. That physical certainty contrasts with today's fragile, probabilistic AI sensors. A modern camera might misinterpret a shadow. An algorithm might get confused. A 19th century gear simply did its job. It moved when pushed. The genius was simplicity. No need to understand human intention. No need to interpret complex visual data. It only needed a physical force, the press of a key as input, the turning of a gear as output. A closed loop of action and record. For Ritty, this was revolutionary. He no longer had to rely solely on employee honesty. He had a mechanical witness for every transaction. The machine didn't eliminate theft entirely, but it made it much, much harder to hide. It was not just a visual device, It was an audio one. With every sale, when the drawer popped open, a loud bell would ring. Sound. Drawer pops open. The bell was an alarm. It was an announcement. It was, in effect, an audio audit. The sharp, clear ring cut through the noise of the saloon. It signaled to everyone, the owner in his back office, the other customers, the employee standing next to the bartender, that a transaction was taking place. The cash drawer was open. A sale had been officially recorded. Think about the power of that sound. It made a private act public. A bartender could no longer quietly pocket a coin. The ring of the bell tied the opening of the drawer to the recording of the sale. To open the drawer without ringing the bell was to signal that something was wrong. The sound created accountability. It was a low-tech security system that worked on a deep psychological level. We are conditioned to pay attention to sudden, sharp noises. The bell forced attention onto the checkout counter. It made the act of handling money visible, or rather audible, to the entire room. This focus on sound has a long legacy. The bell was the original notification. It was the ancestor of every beep, chime, and buzz our modern devices make. When you hear the soft beep of a barcode scanner today, you are hearing the ghost of Ritty's bell. That sound serves the same fundamental purpose. It provides confirmation. It tells the cashier that the system has registered the product. It is a tiny moment of reassurance, a signal that the process is working as it should. It is an audio handshake between you, the product, and the store's digital brain. The workers of the time understood the bell's purpose immediately. They nicknamed the machine the thief catcher. It changed the power dynamic behind the counter. Before the register, the employee had control over the flow of cash. After the register, the machine and its owner had control. The bell was a constant reminder of who was in charge. It was a sound that represented surveillance. It was the sound of management listening in. That simple mechanical ring was the first step toward the data-driven oversight that defines so much of modern work, from call centers that monitor conversation time to delivery apps that track a driver's every turn. The cash register did more than just catch thieves. It began the era of retail data. The paper roll inside the machine which logged every transaction was a primitive database. At the end of the day, an owner could read the roll and see exactly what had been sold and for how much. This was a revelation. For the first time, a small business owner had a clear, objective record of his daily business. He could see which days were busiest. He could track sales with unprecedented accuracy. The machine turned the chaotic flow of commerce into neat rows of numbers. It turned guesswork into management science. Its gears were not just adding up sales. They were building a foundation for a new way of thinking about business. Owners used this data to optimize everything. They could plan inventory more effectively. They could schedule staff based on busy periods. The layout of the store itself could be designed around the flow of customers, a flow now made visible by the register's data. The machine was not just watching the employees, it was watching the entire business, providing insights that were previously impossible to get. Decades later, this same logic was applied on a much grander scale. The invention of the barcode in the 1970s was the next great leap. Instead of a clerk punching in a price, a laser scanner could read a pattern of lines instantly. The beep of the scanner replaced the ring of the bell. The principle, however, was identical. It was about speed, accuracy, and data collection. The barcode connected a physical product to a vast digital database. Every beep fed information into a central computer, telling the company what was sold, where it was sold, and when. This allowed for the rise of superstores and global supply chains. And today, we are in the midst of another leap. The checkout aisle is filled with cameras, weight sensors, and biometric readers. These systems aim to eliminate the checkout process entirely. Just walk in, take what you want, and walk out. The goal is the same as it has always been: to make the transaction faster, more accurate, and to gather as much data as possible. These new systems track your path through the store. They see which items you pick up and which you put back. They are the ultimate evolution of Ritty's paper roll. From the very beginning, workers have had a complicated relationship with these machines. When the first cash registers appeared, some bartenders saw them as a direct attack on their autonomy and their integrity. They felt spied upon. Some organized strikes. They saw the machine not as a tool for honesty, but as a tool for control. This tension has never gone away. It reappeared in the 1970s, when barcode scanners led to fears of job losses and protests from cashiers who worried about the health effects of the new laser technology. The machine that promises efficiency for the owner often looks like a threat to the worker. Today, that tension takes a new form. The automated checkout systems that seem to run on their own are often powered by an invisible human workforce. This is the world of ghost work. When an AI camera gets confused by an item in your cart, or when a weight sensor gives a puzzling reading, the system often sends an alert to a remote human worker. This person, who might be thousands of miles away, and manually corrects the error. They are the human backup for the fallible machine, the ghost in the retail apparatus. Their labor is hidden. The system is designed to look fully automated, to feel magical. But behind the curtain, people are performing small, repetitive digital tasks to keep the illusion running. They are the modern equivalent of the clerk checking the paper tape on Ritty's register. They are the human element required to bridge the gap between the messy real world and the clean, binary logic of the machine. The technology promises to eliminate human labor, but often it just displaces it, hiding it from view, and often devaluing it in the process. So the next time your palm scan fails at the grocery store, listen. Listen for the small, empty beep of the error. In that sound, you can hear the faint, distant echo of a 19th century bell from a saloon in Ohio. That bell and this scanner are part of the same long story. It is a story about the endless pursuit of a perfect, frictionless, and completely observable transaction. From a brass gear that clicks into place to a cloud-based algorithm that analyzes the veins in your hand, the goal has remained unchanged.